evening, I'm Y3M the Game Tutor, and tonight we're going to be grading Among the Sleep. Recently released on Steam and a PS4 version due out later this summer, In the Sleep is a fun indie game from new company Krillbyte Studios that I thoroughly enjoyed from start to finish.
Look what I found! I wonder what it is. Why don't we go upstairs and find out?
The game begins sat at the dinner table. You play a toddler on the day of their second birthday who, after seeing some disjointed scenes involving your mother making you a cake and arguing with someone out of sight, you're placed into your bedroom and given a cuddly toy named Teddy. Soon your mother returns and you are put to bed, and you awaken to find yourself in a changed home, Teddy missing and your mother nowhere in sight. It isn't immediately obvious if Teddy and the nightmarish world that exists before you is a reality, or if it all purely existed in the child's imagination, but this simply adds to the atmosphere and leaves you feeling confused and unsure of the path to take, much like a 2-year-old living in a world they don't really understand. In fact, it's the fact your main protagonist of this story is a toddler that really makes the game unique. You're fairly useless against most things. You can walk, you can crawl slightly quicker, or you can run for a short distance before you inevitably stumble and fall over. You can climb, and you can pull and drag simple things, but that's pretty much it. For once, I didn't feel like this empowered being, impervious to the monsters in the dark. I simply felt like a lost child. The game is creepy but never really scary, but the atmosphere created in this tale is superb. A massive commendation must go to the sound design, which conjures up a large proportion of the scary atmosphere. If you were a child that was scared about what lurked in the closet or what waited in the darkness, then this game will dredge up those emotions. It really is quite a powerful experience, and the fact you're playing an infant makes you feel powerless about whatever evil is out there lurking in the darkness. The game involves searching for memories of your mother in an attempt to get back to reality, or wake up. Again, we're never really sure. And the main emphasis on the game is simply exploring the locations, but there are some fairly simple door and key puzzles to give you reason to explore every nook and cranny of the game's environment. Guided by your faithful Teddy, who provides comfort and light when hugged, you feel compelled to follow the game's story through to the end. While the game is fairly linear, I never felt like I was walking down a never-ending corridor, but instead I felt gently nudged in the right direction. The game paces itself well, and often it's what you don't see rather than what you do that provides the game's lead fear factor. As you go through the game, parts of the story are pieced together through drawings and objects, obviously from the child's world, leading further into debate as to whether we are in a child's imagination or in a genuinely supernatural tale. Without spoiling the ending, all I will say is while there is a definite ending, the game does leave some questions unanswered and left me filling in slightly too many blanks than I would have rather have done. Lasting about 2 hours on the first playthrough is a short game, and while in this day and age that is not always a bad thing, the hefty price tag of £14.99 does make that short playtime a little less forgiving. And the game is not flawless. There were quite a few bugs that I encountered as I progressed through the game. One where set pieces that were supposed to open the next area simply failed to complete, meaning I had to restart the game or go back to the previous checkpoints several times. And while this was not completely game breaking, it did jar me out of the game's atmosphere, which obviously is its strongest point. I also found quite often that the scary monsters that chase you in the darkness could quite often be avoided simply by standing near or amongst some scenery and letting them glitch out as they come towards you. And finally, while a small point, being someone who does get a bit motion sick sometimes, I did find that the climbing animation of the child to be very sort of jerky camera, but that's probably me being a little picky. These few glitches are recognised by the developers however, and they have already stated their intent to fix them. Overall, Among the Sleep is a wonderful tale, well worth experiencing, and while it is a hard sell at £14.99, if you can pick it up on sale or as part of a bundle, there are a lot worse ways you can spend a few hours. For fans of horror games, interactive storytelling, or people looking for something a little bit different, Among the Sleep will take you back to that time in your childhood when you hid under the covers to protect yourself from the things that lurk in the darkness. If you have enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and if you haven't, please do let us know why. And for any future requests, please leave them in the comments section. Good night.